He listens to you. Sometimes you reach to a point that the intellect it stops working.
Interest is?
The intellect, his intellect stops working. It's not working anymore. So he cannot understand you intellectually. But he finds himself in a quiet place, but unable to comprehend what you are saying anymore. And he was wondering what is this situation? Is it a good thing, bad thing? Is it
meaningless?
Going meaningless? Maybe it's the understanding is going deeper. Maybe just the resistance of the intellect.
So, for example, you may have understood something, and so we are insisting the same thing again and again because you have properly understood. You find no necessity to discuss more and more. You have no necessity, but because you understood properly, there is no necessity to in different angle you need not approach because you are already there. Then the matter is over that when you accept everything, you have no work here in the psychological world.
Could be. It's very kind of you. Could be. Because I've heard it over and over again. Understood it.
Why does it seem that there are certain people who have done the same sadhana or the same spiritual practice as other people, but they seem to get this understanding relatively easy, and other people they may be struggling doing their sadhana for many years, but are unable to go to the depth of this understanding there. Why is it like that? Is it a karma? Is it predetermined like that? Is it because of grace? What is the reason that some people understand this and others that made the same effort to understand, they don't understand?
But the remedy is only in the intellectual level, but they search it in the conscious level. The remedy is in the intellectually, if you understood, that alone will solve the problem. But if you search it in the conscious level, just like a feeling, just like an experience, then we cannot find it. So basically they done some mistake, and the basic mistake may be the reason. And if you done a mistake, because the failure alone will be there, then you should not blame the karma. Because if you done, however may be the karma helpful, if you done it in a mistaken way, some result, then good result is not possible. So here the problem is only in the intellectual level, not in the conscious level. But I think the problem is in the conscious level. That is the problem.
So what you say is that these people who did not understand, they were expecting some experience.
No, in the level of experience alone, even though the experience may be there, but we have to come through this way of intellectual alone. The intellect alone decides the end.
So it's a kind of a decision.
Decision, but in the form of understanding.
In the form of understanding.
Or it may be in the form of faith, anything. Somebody may in the form of faith that is, I am the absolute reality, I have no work. That means it is an intellectual understanding. But they also explain it as if it is a conscious understanding. That is their way, they commit some mistake.
They confuse
confuse everybody as if they have consciously doing something. Then everybody is expecting a conscious experience that I am the absolute reality. But it is impossible to have this kind of anything. So in this way, as in the other day also you said, some 21st, I think.
21st.
The contraction of the I am is the real problem.
Yes.
So here, what we expect that this contraction should not be there. So we are giving importance to the experience. So this experience is bad. This experience is the deciding factor. And if you want to be free from this kind of experience, if you are free from this experience, everything is okay. But it also says, but nobody will give you the way for this, how you can free from this experience. You cannot free from this experience. But because he is giving some importance to the experience. But at the same time, he is not giving a remedy for that.
Yes.
Because whatever remedy he can give, he will never produce that. Because the remedy is only in the intellectual level. It is not in the conscious level. But they make us to think the problem is in the conscious level. Actually, no problems in the conscious level. You may have contraction of eye consciousness or may not have eye consciousness, doesn't matter. The matter is only whether you have any work or there or not. That is decided by the intellectual alone. The intellectual alone is the authority to do something in the conscious level. So if you find no work, then matter is over. So the consciousness has some relationship with the intellect alone. It has no relationship with the unconscious level. So basically the mistaken view is the basic reason for the failure. And there some reputed person gives some kind of advice like this: you have to be free from contraction and we have to take, because he is very great and he has a name. So in this way, many people like this, Ramana Maharishi or anybody else saying that we have to be free from the eye consciousness, and Ramana Nisarada says, I feel I am the absolute reality, as if he is experiencing the reality. So we give importance to that verse, and thereby we expect some great and strange experience, and this experience will never come. But anyhow, you are expecting.
Yeah, I can see it myself. Yesterday, I was speaking with Govinda, and he's starting to, speak about his experiences in Vipassana and like that. And I was feeling. And I was feeling how easily my mind is going back to the old traps and thinking maybe I should do something. Maybe this experience I didn't have. So maybe if I had this experience something. How easily the mind is,
going after some experience.
Yes, amazing. But still, when you speak, I hear you. I know this is the truth that you speak. But how easily the mind is slipping into the old pattern. And this was why I was worried about what what will happen in Israel if I fall back to the old traps. Of expecting some change in the experience.
But we have no control over that experience. If for the time being you make control, it is through some process, you can create some energy field.
Yeah.
Thereby we disturb some natural flow. But it is a temporary one. It is not a permanent one.
Yes.
But once for if you decide no work, you have put down everything. Put down everything is the only way. You have to lock the lunatic person into a room and lock and throw away the key. Don't open it again. The matter is over.
Yeah, we seem to keep the key in the pocket.
Yeah,
just in case. Maybe I will need it later.
That alone is the problem.
You have to throw the key away. Yeah.
It is a very nature of the mind, very nature of the feeling. No feeling will stand and I will not, it will never say I will not go away from you. Whatever comes will go away naturally. So unless we give some strength by forcing it to something, it must go away, it must be there, then only we give some energy, negatively or positively we give some energy to that. Then only we renew the feeling. Otherwise it will go away naturally. If you do not give any attention to that, if you simply doing your own activities and don't mind that, it will go away naturally. Only because of our undue interest upon this, it creates more energy. Otherwise everything goes away naturally.
When our mind is like this, as you say, then thoughtlessness comes automatically.
So thoughtlessness is not necessary. Even thought is also a tool. Everything is necessary. Without thought we cannot do anything. So thought is also necessary.
But
everything is necessary.
But in that way we keep on planning for the thing which is not correct.
So without thought you cannot. You have to plan something. You have to plan something.
But we have to plan only for the necessity. No, otherwise it becomes a habit.
So for the necessary thing you can plan. But if it is unnecessarily your thought comes, you don't mind that. So whenever you do not give importance to the natural flow, natural thought, it will go away very easily. So whenever you give, when you struggle that you should not have any thought, then thereby you give importance to the thought. So if you don't mind, it will go
No,
away.
I don't mean, I'm not attempting to be thoughtless.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking, if this way of allowing it everything naturally gives you a thoughtlessness as a result. I am not wanting thoughtlessness,
But thoughtless, you need not mind, you did not expect a thoughtless state. A thought is a necessary one. So you must have thought. Without thought, we cannot live in this world. So thought is a necessary. Only if you do some meditations and yoga practices, then we can imagine a thoughtless state. So it is a stage in the yoga process. But here in the day-to-day life and in the way of liberation and way of enlightenment, we need not expect a thoughtless state. That is not at all necessary.
because the spiritual
It is said
thought
like
it is said.
But it is only in the yoga process. In the yoga process,
When we are leaving the body, we're dying. They say this awareness is very essential so that the death is once and for all. We don't have to take a cycle again. So it is said that we should not. That I don't know. It is told in the spiritual path that you get memories of the past, or there is a vision of your own desires. I don't know what it is, but at that time you get a vision of your whole life process, and this awareness, if it is until this awareness is established, deep-rooted in you, they say then you are not going to win over this cycle of life and birth. So is thoughtlessness not required at that stage?
Not
Not
required. It is
required.
not required. Because only the liberation alone gives the freedom. But this thoughtless state, you may be put into a coma state through some meditation. It is not at all necessary. That is not at all.
Even during death, it is not necessary.
Not necessary.
So your this natural state of mind is
Natural state. The natural state means you have to have some understanding, and you allow the thing naturally. Then you are in the freedom. So whenever you are in the freedom, then only you have the option to take birth or not. Then the option is in your hand. If you want, you can choose the birth. If you don't want, you need not choose. But no, you cannot be forced to take birth.
So this state of mind is what Buddha also had. This is the one.
Every enlightened masters say the same thing. There
Yes.
is no difference between the enlightened persons. Everybody is in the same stage.
Or is there refinement within that? There is a superior quality within that. Is there,
So in the yoga process alone, we can have the different kind of quality.
refinement?
Not refinement, some different kind of energy. We are creating some different kind of energy field. So that is different. Creating energy, different kind of energy field is different from the dissolution of energy. So here, for example, each and every feelings is a energy field. So happiness, sorrow, everything is a creation, everything is the formation of the energy field. And each and every moment we have some energy field, and it comes and disappears. And through meditation, you create some other special energy field for yourself. So that is the creation of new energy field, and you are designing some energy field for yourself. It is a separate energy field. So whenever you are creating such separate energy field for yourself, you can live as you build a house. You can live in this house. Thereby you can create the energy field, and you can safely live in this house, live in the energy field, and thereby you can keep yourself protected by any other energy field. Then you can be protected not touched by any other adverse energy field. So you can protect yourself. But however you protect, one day or other it will be demolished. It is a natural course, because the nature is having the force. Everything will be demolished in course of time. And afterwards you have to create another again and again. But instead of that, if you allow all energy field dissolves naturally, you need not create any energy field for yourself. So whatever energy field comes in the natural way, you allow to disappear in the natural way. So you need not protect yourself by creating a special energy field for yourself. So by meditation and other thing, we are creating some special energy field for ourselves. But it is the yoga process. But in the yoga process, we are creating such kind of energy field. But in the liberation is not creating energy field. Liberation is the dissolution. It is the free flow, just like a river. So everything comes and goes naturally, just like a river. The free flow of energy field is known as liberation. But it is a state. It is not the liberation is not a state. But the creating some energy field is a state. You can maintain a state. But even though you can be safe, whenever you have the good energy field, you can protect yourself forever. But it is a temporary one. But if the energy field is very strong, you cannot bear the power of the energy field. Even the energy field may destroy the health of your body. So we have to be careful. Even though we have created the energy field for the satisfaction of ourselves, if it exceeds the limit, it will destroy the bodies. So we have to be careful. Even though we have created some good energy field, we can be safe. But it is also work against ourselves. But in the natural way, liberation is the natural. We need not create any energy field. We can simply allow the natural flow. It itself
in
is
this
there.
way, the ego is disappeared, or what?
So the ego means the struggling is the struggling. When you struggle, that is the ego. If you do not struggle, even though you have the I am, but it is not power. It is not powerless. It is powerless. Whenever you struggle something, this must be, this must not be, then only the ego gets powerful. Otherwise, even though there is ego, it is not power. It is not power.
So it
So
drops.
it appears to be ego, but it is not an ego. Even though it looks like ego, it is not at all ego.